President William Ruto is being faced with ICC investigations again. Why am I saying this? An article has been written exposing a certain investigation that is being done by the International Criminal Court in Kenya for Kenyans' involvement in enabling the Sudan war that has escalated to a certain level. Now, allegations have emerged linking top Kenyan officials to illicit gold trade benefiting Sudan's militia, raising global concerns. Now, it is said that two Kenyan high-ranked officials are currently in business with the Sudanese General Emedit, who is the man that recently formed a parallel government while in Nairobi. Now, the eyes of the international community are turning towards the enablers of the Sudan civil war, days after the country's militia formed a parallel government in Nairobi and startling claims over Kenyan leadership involvement in illicit gold business emerged. Now, Emedi was sanctioned alongside his brothers Algoni Hamdan Dagalo and Musa Abdrahim Dagalo, the latter who represented him in the Nairobi event. The January 7th sanction also affected RSF weapon suppliers and companies associated with the three brothers for destabilizing Sudan and undermining the goal of the democratic transition. For nearly 2 years, Emedit's RSF has engaged in a brutal armed conflict with the Sudanese armed forces for control of Sudan, killing tens of thousands, displacing about 12 million Sudanese and triggering widespread starvation, US said when announcing the sanctions. Among the 7 companies sanctioned alongside the RSF leader, some of them are alleged to be in business with with some of the Kenyan government officials. Now, President William Ruto is a man that is currently in a limbo. You know, the allegations that have arisen in regards to him allowing Sudan to operate, to allow the militia in Sudan to operate in Kenya, where they went ahead to sign charters forming parallel government against that of the Sudan as a country, is something that caught the attention of the International Criminal Court. We all know that the ICC has summoned the General Emedit to answer to the crimes against humanity for his involvement in the Sudanese genocide. Yet, this man is being sanctioned by the International Criminal Court, but in Kenya, he is given a royal welcome. We all saw the other day the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, Professor Abraham Kithure Kindiki, and some senators and governors welcoming Emedit at the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport as if this man was a royal prince from a certain peaceful country. It was so shameful for us as a country to allow such a thing to happen in our country. But this is happening because President William Ruto is rumored to be in business with the said general. It is believed that, and I will tell you in regards to the ones that were said by one deputy president, the former deputy president Rigathi Gachagua, who told us that William Ruto and Emedit, the general who is the leader of RSF in Sudan, they are in business. The gold in Darfur that is being mined by these militia is being transported to Kenya, where this gold is then moved from Kenya and sold in the UAE, the United Arab Emirates, and Dubai. Now, here, President William Ruto buys this gold at a cheaper price from Emirates, then sells the said gold to UAE at double or thrice the price, or 10 times the price that he has gotten it. So he is in a very lucrative business. Now, how can he let that slide? And that is why he had to allow what happened here in the country several days ago happen. Now, the ICC, though they have been blindfolded on certain issues that have been happening in the country, when we look back to the crimes against humanity that happened in Kenya during the Gen Z demonstration, we can all ascertain that some actions were supposed to be taken, though they were never taken. But now, the joint statement, the Kenyans RSF ties undermined Sudan peace effort. Allow me to give you a certain statement that was released by the international community. The Kenyan government disgracefully decision to host the Rapid Support Force RSF and its allied militia, infamous for their brutal reign of terror in Sudan, makes it complicit in mass atrocities against the Sudanese people. RSF gathered in Nairobi on February 18, 2025, to form a parallel government. Now, this violates Kenyans' commitment to justice, accountability, and the promotion of peace and security in Sudan and the Horn region. This meeting also happened 4 days after the African Union Peace and Security Council, convened by heads of state and government, condemned all forms of external interference fueling the Sudanese conflict and urged the warring parties to commit to an inclusive political dialogue to address the current crisis. Kenya's unilateral move undermined Pan-Africanism by contradicting the African Union's peace effort in Sudan, led by the AU High-Level Panel and the AU Peace and Security Council expanded mechanism, which aimed to engage all key parties involved in the conflict. Now, a recent report by the UN Independence International Fact-Finding Mission for Sudan found reasonable grounds to believe that the RSF and its allied militia committed war crimes, including slavery, pillage, forced displacement of civilians, and the recruitment of children under 15 for combat. Horrific assaults carried by the RSF and its allies against non-Arab communities, in particular the Masalit in and around El Geneina, West Darfur, included killings, torture, and other forms of violence and destruction of property. Now, on January 7th, 2025, the US government sanctioned RSF leader Mohammed Hamdan Daglo Musa, also known as Emedit, for his role in destabilizing Sudan and obstructing its democratic transition. Earlier on September 6, 2023, the Department of the Treasury's Office of Foreign Assets Control sanctioned his brother Abdelrahim Hamdan Daglo for leading the RSF, whose members have committed atrocities including massacres, ethnic killings, and other types of violence. Now, Kenya's decision to host the RSF in Nairobi to form a parallel government is a grave violation of its international obligation, including the UN Charter, the AU Constitutive Act, and the Convention on the Prevention and Punishment of the Crime of Genocide. Moreover, the move undermines Sudan's sovereignty, constitutes an act of hostility against its people, and disregards the immense suffering of countless Sudanese civilians and ongoing peace efforts. Now, after the time the RSF convened in Nairobi, The militia was actively committing genocide, massacring civilians along ethnic lines, attacking internally displaced persons camps, and killing more than 433 civilians, including women and children, in a 3-day assault in southern White Nile state near the town of Al Gitaina. Now, on February 19, 2024, the Kenyan government, through the office of the Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi, admitted to providing the RSF with a platform to convene in Nairobi and attempted to justify this decision. This move was undoubtedly strained the long-standing relationship between Sudan and Kenya. Now, the Kenyan government's actions undermine international efforts, including those by the civil society organization, to promote peace, accountability, and justice. It also endangers Sudanese refugees in Kenya, as their tormentors, the RSF, are on the verge of forming an illegal government. Now, when you look at this, you see the reason why the international community had to call a meeting and also said investigators in Kenya, who we are being told they are currently in Kenya, and they have not made it known. They have come as secret spies to monitor, to really do thorough investigation to establish the connection between the Kenyan government officials with the RSF leaders, because the actions and the acts that have been committed by one General Emedit in Sudan are acts that we all as a nation are against them. I mean, no human being can really accommodate that. Yet, the President of the Republic of Kenya hosts that man as a friend, gives him a befitting welcome in the country, where he is treated like a royal king that has arrived in the country. And this might also violate the current visit by the King of Netherlands that is supposed to happen on 18th this March. Now, the reason why also the ICC had to send their investigators into the country to make sure that what is being said is just a rumor and not the truth is because they don't want, the International Criminal Court is located in Netherlands, and that is where the King of Netherlands comes from, and he is coming for the first time for a state visit in Kenya on 18th of March. So they want to ensure that they are not associating themselves with the regime that has been supporting somebody that has been committing war crimes against his people. Are we together? Because according to some news that, according to the website of the Royal House of the Netherlands, on 7th of January 2025, they publicized that His Majesty King William Alexander and Her Majesty Queen Maxima are to pay a state visit to Kenya at the invitation of President William Ruto. The visit will take place from Tuesday 18th to Thursday 20th March 2025. Now, Kenya, the Queen and King of Netherlands cannot visit Kenya at a time where they know they will be associating themselves with a country that has been funding war crimes in Sudan. We all know that when you go to Kakuma and Dadaab, these are refugee camps, the biggest refugee camps that we have in East and Central Africa. The number of Sudanese refugees in those camps is so high. When these people escape from their country so that they will come and seek refuge in our country, Kenya, they come here for peace, expecting and praying that one day peace will be found in their country. But how will these people even settle in their minds knowing that they escaped from Emedit and his group of killers and came to Kenya? But here in Kenya, Hemedit has followed them, where he has come now to officiate forming a parallel government against that of Sudan. How will these people even feel? They feel that even their safety in the country where they thought they could find peace is violated. They cannot settle. Now, the article that has been publicized about the secret deployment of ICC investigators in Kenya to establish the link between the Kenyan officials, government officials that are in business with the RSF, I say currently that is a move that we can all agree with. Gachagua accused Ruto of conducting business with Emedit. A lot of people have accused him of being in business with Emedit. So now is the right time to establish the truth. What is your take? Subscribe.